water. Anywho. Go, Trevor, go! Sorry. Okay. Thank you, Trevor.
Song called Betray.
Betray. All right. Welcome to the podcast, folks. It's Two Lonely Boys in a Canoe. I'm Chris Evans. That's Trevor Ahlstrom. How are you?
Yeah. Gravel Shit's Gorgeous George, and we got special guests.
Who's here today with us?
We got Sona.
Sona, hello.
And Jeff.
Jeff, how are you?
Everybody.
Hey, internet people, listen up. These people are here.
Sona's the better half of the couple, so yeah.
Obviously.
Yes. Jeff, you got a pretty
Don't
sweet...
hit on her right in front of them, bro. What's up, man?
I'm letting everyone know that they're a couple. Also, Jeff, I like your Kirby shirt.
Jeff's wearing a very cool Kirby shirt. It's got Kirby in a lot of actions. He's bouncing, he's darting, he's got a couple punches thrown,
yeah.
He's stomping on motherfuckers.
I really like Kirby. Kirby's cute and tough.
He's
like
adorable,
me. He's got
man.
blue eyes.
You know what Kirby reminds me of?
Kirby
reminds me of Flubber. You remember that movie?
Yes.
Where like you couldn't destroy it and it's squished and like he just finds ways to fuck people up. Is Kirby an assassin?
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
Well, the original Kirby game, you had to eventually destroy a king penguin that had his name Malice.
And they just ripped the story off from Mario.
Pretty much.
They're like,
yeah.
All right, imagine Mario, but with pink guy. And it's like, what?
It sucks.
And we don't mean pink.
He sucks real hard.
Sucks so hard.
Sucks so hard that he ingests people and their abilities, Mega Man style.
I kind of feel like he almost is like his mini version of like Majin Buu, Dragon Ball Z later on.
Maybe, yeah, like Kid Buu.
Yeah, he'll absorb people.
Yeah.
Or turn them to a giant cookie
I always
and eat
thought
them.
Mega Man was a really cool character because that motherfucker stole people's powers and he had his own like cannon and shit.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I don't know. Who do you think would win in a fight, Mega Man or Sonic the Hedgehog?
Mega Man.
Mega Man? Yeah.
I have to go Sonic.
Sonic's so fast, man. That's a problem. How do you get a hold of him?
It's like, I almost feel like it would be the argument of like Flash versus Batman. Like Mega Man would be like fucking Batman or Iron Man. Like, alright, he's got a badass suit. But the other guy's just got crazy speed.
All right, let's work out some real things. Speed versus fucking Sonic. No.
You mean Flash versus Sonic?
Or Speed versus Sonic Flash. It's the same thing.
And we don't mean the bad 90s Disney movie, folks, about the horse Flash. We mean
What?
Flash the superhero.
Flash! Savior of the universe!
Flash Gordon? That's Flash Gordon, man.
Flash! He'll save every one of us!
Fucking Queen, they did that.
Dude, they must have made some good money off of that because they wrote that song in like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
like, who is he? Flash? Okay, Flash.
That's like some Always Sunny sort of shit. Like,
Yeah.
Dayman.
Fighter of the night, man. Shout out, It's Always Sunny. Charlie Day,
Yeah.
you're the man. Rob Mc something or other. I always forget his
And
last
Dennis,
name.
too.
Dennis McDenniston, the
Yes.
Golden God.
This isn't a starter car. This is a finisher car. Get away from me, you beauty woman.
He has that whole rant where he goes to his trunk because he's at a class reunion and everybody's clowning on him. So So he goes to his trunk for his tools, and he has like a flashlight and duct tape and fucking zip ties.
He's got some sketchy shit.
They're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I
shit.
need my tools." He has rope, you know. It's so weird.
So he had
It's like my things. I need my things.
running joke of that for all the characters. Everyone has running jokes for Dennis is that he's just an absolute psychopath, but he pretends.
Well, there's
to
a
not
lot of
be.
like cool jokes in the show
Like-
where
like
it's like
D is a
dropped.
bird.
Well,
D
it's
is a
like
bird.
dropped that
Yeah.
like he's done something real illegal with somebody's body or something. Like he's always like, I can make them disappear. You know, it's like what?
some mob shit. I mean, it's East Coast. Definitely some mob shit.
Or you just live in Florida and you can drive out to the swamp for 5 minutes.
Yup, that's how you get rid of them, man. Swamps are easy. The problem with gators is they don't break down bones.
Yeah, like
There's been a
pigs.
lot of bodies discovered because they open up a gator,
So you need
A
to.
lot of
or they
bodies
shit them out at a
discovered.
point.
Oh.
Yeah.
A lot of bodies have been discovered because Lake Mead's drying.
Hell yeah! All the mobsters in the '50s from Vegas that all those bodies got buried. They're like, oh,
I mean, it's a thing.
That's what happened to
eventually, man.
Jimmy.
Bones,
Okay.
Bones last for hundreds of years, you know? We still find, like, preserved bodies and stuff in the
Thousands of
ground
years
from
ago.
Egypt, you know? That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Bones. You ever watch that show, Bones? That's a terrible
such
show.
a bad
That's such a bad show.
So bad.
Okay, let's just name a couple bad USA shows. Bones, Rizzoli and Isles. What was the other one? Suits. Suits was like a bunch of lawyers.
Jag.
Jag.
oh
Yeah,
god,
Jag was terrible.
Yeah, I've seen that shit.
And this is my thing is I love Law and Order, but I can't stand Criminal Intent or they have like the NCIS whatever.
This is the worst.
It's the most terrible thing in the world.
Oh, the best and the worst at the same time has to be Special Victim Units. It's like,
Yeah.
and that dude with the show is like every
Christopher
episode is
Maloney.
about rape
Yeah.
and murder. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't do this.
Dude, and the fucked up part is, I love that show. I love all the craziness because it's so bad. It's like before every commercial break, there's like, okay, there's a burned body. They're like, well, I guess he won't be going to the gas station anymore. And then it's like bong bong, and they go to commercial. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Nobody talks like that. Nobody just gets up and is like, parachuter died. They're like, I guess he cashed in his last chips. It's so
It's
bad.
always some bad shit
So
like,
terrible.
oh, I guess he's just trying to always use a parachute or some stupid.
Dude hangs
parachute.
himself. They're like, he's always hanging around.
Yeah.
Or some shit. So
Guy
don't
gets his-
make stupid puns when you're at a crime
Guy
scene,
gets his
folks.
hat-
It's very messed
Guy
up.
gets his head crushed in a giant press, and they're like, oh, I guess he couldn't keep his head. Oh,
Guess he was under pressure.
Under pressure.
Yeah.
fucking early James Bond would do that too. After he'd murder a guy, he'd make some joke and like wink at a lady, and then like drive off in his Aston Martin.
Who does that? Nobody.
Psychopath.
All right, Trevor, let's get back on track here. We like to get a little off the rails. How have you guys been? I'd like to hear more from you. You're
Yeah.
very quiet over there.
We've been good.
Yeah?
I just didn't.
Local news? You want to talk about that at River Road accident? Because you guys had to deal with it. He had to deal with it. I heard about it.
Decided to take out a utility pole.
I saw. Okay. Hopefully this works. Do you guys want to take a bong rip? Just because we got this already and stuff now.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't have to replay the guitar song.
I think that we solved the problem, guys. I think that with your belief and like our skills and our hard work and determination, we made it happen.
And Jesus.
And also the shrimp too. I'd say the shrimp help.
The shrimp power. Power of
power.
the shrimp.
Yeah. Yes.
Full of food and not hungry helps everything out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for putting up with us. We really try hard here, and we just want to be able to please.
Is it recording? Do I hit the
It
button?
is. Do it.
Oh.
man. We are
This is
recording. I think I had to close the program and restart it. But now it seems to be working fine. See, Trevor, we're doing all right. We're taking another bong rip because we got all set to start a new episode, and now we're just like, fuck that. We're going to continue this one.
There you go.
Long story short, telephone pole down, their power out.
Pedestrians in North Eugene are assholes.
Yes, people need to learn
Yeah.
to drive, and then some.
Yeah.
All right. So where were we?
Be safe, folks. Be safe.
Where were we?
That
Trevor?
was some local news, part of the news section.
The localist of news is that
Yes.
our equipment sometimes fucks up, and I mean, breaking news, folks. We figure it out.
For the moment. We don't have a lot of nice things though, so we try.
Trevor, you know our nice things though? They're very nice. You find beauty in what you choose to, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like Jeff's feet, for example.
Exactly. Beautiful feet. Look at those toes.
They're weird.
But they're weird.
Sona's socks. Or Chris's ripped t-shirt with the...
I ripped the sleeves off of most of my t-shirts, thank you very much. And the funniest part of this shirt is that I had this shirt for like 10, 12 years. This motherfucker's been through wars.
Yeah, I have most of my t-shirts have outlasted any of my relationships.
It's weird. It's strange.
My clothes and my relationships both get shredded early, so...
That moral of the story, t-shirts are more dependable than women.
Oh man, did it? You know women, they be driving. How do you feel about this, Sonya?
Yeah.
She's the only female in the room, man. We can't just
No,
leave her over there all
there's actually
quiet
two.
and stuff.
There's two.
Yep.
Yeah,
She's
Ferrari
got a
the
kitty
cat.
friend now.
The relationships are hard.
Very
I hear
difficult.
that. I hear that.
But I think they're worth the trouble. You know, you put a lot of effort behind it, and then, you know,
I think you're right.
it's a building project, you know, and you're never done. It's just kind of, you get further along in the build.
Other local news, apparently two skateboarders, young skateboarders died, and there's a guy who's wanting to raise mental health awareness because these guys were young, troubled kids.
How did they die?
One guy committed suicide, the other guy got found in a conveyor belt in Austin, Texas, dead.
A conveyor belt? What
A
the
conveyor
fuck?
belt. I know, that's what it says, a conveyor belt.
They don't
What
like,
conveyor
a
belt?
conveyor belt.
Where was he at?
Like,
I'm guessing a recycling
airport?
center, or no, it was like conveyor
The
belt.
airport, like luggage coming out, some dude just coming out.
Or I imagine like a conveyor belt, like a junkyard or something. Because I've had to work at some junkyards where we had a conveyor belt. It was not fun.
Oh yeah.
I just thought of that Junkyard Dog song.
Well, this was in Humboldt, but
When I worked at FedEx in the sorting facility, there's a job, and a lot of times old people will take it. It's called jammers.
Yep.
And what you do is you sit while there's this corner where
Yep.
the conveyor belts
And
the
something
slides
stops
are.
it up, you
stand
plug
up
it.
and you have a stick and you poke
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Apparently, some old guy died on a shift. Nobody
Had a heart
noticed
attack,
until the next
fell
day
over.
came back, and the next person that was supposed to do that. You're like, oh, it's so sad.
you're not my grandson. Ah!
There was this stand-up
Fucking A,
joke
bro.
I heard, and it was a guy that was on Kill Tony. Shout out Kill Tony. It's an awesome podcast.
Good show.
Good
Very
show.
good show. But the guy goes, "Oh, I walked into a bathroom and there was a dead guy in there." And he goes, "You know that little board where it checks off who cleaned the bathroom? That guy on Tuesday's full of shit. You know, he didn't clean the bathroom at all." Pretty good.
Just sees a body, he's like, it'll be fine.
And somebody just walked in there and signed it and was like, "That's a Wednesday problem."
The next 2 days, not at the end of my shift.
You guys, you mother.
Oh, everybody's in better spirits now. Yay!
I just expect Danny, or just the guy from Lethal Weapon. I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
I forget, he was
Daniel
surprisingly
Glover?
Yeah, Daniel
young
Glover.
in the first one when he said that shit. He was like maybe like 15 or something.
He was a younger dude. Yeah, he was like in his fucking early 40s, late 30s.
He's old as shit now, which
Yeah.
sucks, because now...
Now he can say it, and you're like, "Oh shit, he is too old for this shit." Can't be teaming up with Mel Gibson anymore, man. He ain't the guy he used to be. Have you guys ever heard his rant? He has a recording where he
Mel
calls
Gibson one?
his ex-wife.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
And he is fuming, and like I guess something happened. They were having a
mad,
disagreement.
though.
He was
And-
losing millions of dollars. That's what was happening.
It was nuts, and his girl's recording him on the other side, and you can always tell when somebody's recording you because they're very passive and very, no, that's not how it is. You know what I
They're
mean?
just letting you go.
And
Come on.
yeah, exactly.
Tell me.
Yeah, I'm recording this whole.
I'm not fighting
So
back.
he's like, one of his craziest lines is he's like all ramped up, and he goes, "Why don't you do what you're good for and just blow me?" And he's just like, he's like breathing into the phone so heavily. He's like, "Hello, like he doesn't know they're still there, and she's like, "Hello, what's the problem?" Like, she's so calm.
There's also the part too where he screams about his Laker tickets, like my Laker tickets, and he just loses it. Yeah, he just loses it. Goes 6 octaves up.
I'm not gonna say obviously he's a flawed person, but I would hate to be judged by like my lowest moment.
The worst day of your life you're being judged.
Somebody recorded it and be like, "That's what everybody's gonna judge
Think
you
of
by."
you from now on. That sucks.
Hey, now you got Will Smith now.
Everybody would hate him.
Well, I think in the shadows, especially, we all say and do things that sometimes we wouldn't think that the world would view as fucking, cool or whatever.
Oh, I do it in public.
Yeah, well, I'm not running around punching any kids in public, but
Just old
sometimes I have
people.
that urge,
Just old people.
I was doing open mics in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and this is a few years back, not that long ago. And I was doing the whole premise of the bit was how I found out that well, I'll just go ahead and say it. How retard strong is a real thing. That was the whole premise
Retard
of
strength.
the bit.
You ever experienced it yourself?
I was the whole bit was about the story about how it was real.
Yeah.
And I was just doing open mics at the time, so like I did. It was a 5-minute bit on how I found out that was a real thing.
You guys need
I think that was
drink?
only like half of the thing I even talked about.
Sure.
That was like maybe 2 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And like it was the first time I tried. I was like, well, I didn't think that was like the most amazing thing I've ever tried, but that was like, that was hard. And then I get off the stage, and this guy's he's like, so you said retard a lot up there. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And then it just dawned. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And to everybody's credit, like nobody laughed, but nobody like really came because like people watched me up there. They knew I was just oblivious. Like I had no idea.
Yeah, you were just trying to make a joke.
Yeah.
And that's where the funny part about like woke culture is as well, is that like, where is the line if you keep pushing your line? You know what I mean? Like if you say something's not okay today, then it's tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because if you're just making up rules as you go, that's not how society kind of works.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it just comes down to it's just sounds coming out of your face.
Yeah.
And we can argue over specific words until we're blue in the face or whatever.
I like to try to get Trevor to say the N-word sometimes. It's pretty funny. He's like, I don't want to say it, but I will if I have to. And I'm like, okay.
I'll let that be an exception to the rule, but there really aren't magic words. And honestly, it's crazy because the more a word is forbidden, the more powerful a word that word is.
People try to say it.
And especially with woke culture, like if you're for example like a white male, there's always, you have to be extra careful because you're going to be judged a little bit harsher because
Trevor, you saying white people got it hard?
No, I'm just saying white folks, you're going to get judged extra hard because of some shit that happened in the past. It's going to
I
happen.
think the pendulum swings everywhere.
But
it does.
If you have a magic word, that's giving people control of you.
Is.
If you have a magic word, if I don't like you and I don't care about what you think,
that there's
and I
a
just
word
wanna
that I
piss
can
you off
say
because I don't like you, I'll just say the magic word and boom.
Like if people are saying the N-word in a room full of mixed demographics and no one's offended, then it's just lost all of its power.
No.
But that probably isn't going to happen anytime immediately.
I think we need to have a conversation about having a conversation.
Yeah. No, agreed, 100%.
I think everybody just needs to grow up, man. We all call each other names, and we all fucking mean terrible things at certain points.
I do think it's funny though. Like I do get away. One of my favorite things to call people now. And I haven't, and maybe it won't last forever, but people don't seem to get offended. Because they call everybody chomos now. Chomos. I think it's largely because not everybody is.
You gotta make up your own insults, you know what I mean? You're a flabbergaster. It's like, what do you mean? Well, you know.
Chomo is a prison term for child molester.
Chomo.
Yeah.
Jeff learning shit.
Jeff loves to use that word, by the way. Like, I've walked in a bar and Jeff's like, there's the chomo. And I'm like...
But that's the thing. That's
I get it now. The acronyms make sense. Child molester.
Yeah. So maybe
it's like pedophile, pedo, the last great pedo.
So maybe it won't last forever because a lot of people aren't in tune to what it actually means.
Of course.
But for right now, I can go around calling people chomos.
Yeah.
But I've had uttered the slightest racial slur.
Yeah.
Here's
something.
If you come out and just start saying like gooks and spooks and waff, you were like, oh shit.
I had an interesting thing I said at work today. I was telling the guys, you know, the LBGT community or whatever. I was like, eventually they're just going to keep adding different things. They're just going to continue to add stuff.
The maps.
And
Maps.
Oh.
Minor attracted persons. That was actually a discussion.
well, what I was trying to say was that basically we're going to have pedophilia become a normal thing at a point, which is going to be a weird one.
It's disturbing how common it already is, really.
I think it's extremely common, and I think it's going to become more commonplace in the future. But that's a problem. That's a real issue.
Because this is one of the weird things, though, is it's largely been a thing that in society in the past it was either just completely ignored, or if the Romans and the Greeks, not only was it just common, it was celebrated.
Exactly.
Thing.
You know, it's like I'm taking my young boy to go have fun, and everyone's like, "Have a good night."
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, in certain areas, part of the world, that still is a thing. Still happens.
Yeah. There was a crazy documentary I was watching, and it was trailing the American troops in Afghanistan.
Oh yeah.
And how there were some good people that were fighting on the Afghani side from Afghanistan. But a lot of them were strung out on heroin. They were all really high on hash. Hash is fucking abundant out there. And a lot of the like higher ups, because in the religion they're not allowed to have, I guess, women around wars or something like that. They keep little boys.
Oh.
They keep like a bunch of little boys around the base, and a bunch of these higher ups take these little boys and fucking molest
There was
them.
a guy Jeff and I worked with who was Robbie, who went to a tour in Afghanistan after starting. He actually talked about how the older officers would take the young boys and come back a little more ruffled and weird.
And it's crazy because like if you do look at their culture, unfortunately, they're hundreds of years behind most civilization. Like they have been living in a religious like desert for a long time.
Well, we have the goddamn Mormons right down there in Utah, like the fundamentalists, like the break off, but they're doing the same shit right.
And it's like in different capacities, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, it's a trip when one of those guys from Utah is like, yeah, this is my 7th wife, and these are my 32 children.
Suck it.
What?
Suck it, America.
He's like, yeah, I just kept knocking up my daughters, man, after they came out. And you're like, what is going on in this house? It's religion.
This is God's house
Jesus
right here.
told me.
Yeah.
Didn't you know God likes watching, bro?
Him and Santa Claus are just beating it off somewhere.
Gross.
They're always watching. Always watching.
Yeah, we're getting on a weird tangent here, folks. Again, we're off the rails.
Sometimes Shane.
Speaking off the rails of the Crazy Train, he's actually one of the singers in a band I want to talk about. How about that segue? How about that segue right there?
All right.
Whatever. Come on.
Love
That
it.
was a good segue.
I didn't love it, but yeah, go ahead, man.
Better than you could do. That's
Better
right.
than you can do.
So, last time we did the top 10 American classic rock bands. Now we're doing the UK.
We're covering the United Kingdom now. Woo!
Yeah.
So, in the UK, we're not counting Ireland, because with the next one, we're doing the world. And Ireland and Canada, who both have had issues with Britain.
They were a part of Britain at a point, but
Yes, but now.
not in the
Not now.
era that we're talking about.
Yes. So I don't want people, I want IRA to get all
We'll
mad.
cover
People in
other countries.
green and orange getting all mad
We
at
had
us.
this cool idea like a couple days back to do like classic rock from America, the UK, and then
everywhere else.
abroad. You know, so we'll do like the top like 10
Because
whoever.
there
There's
are
so many good ones in different areas.
yeah, but a lot of the stuff like you grew up hearing on the station mostly came from the U.S.,
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely
Britain,
Hearts.
or it came from like Ireland or Canada. Like you don't hear so much of like
We want the fun.
you don't hear like do you hear
want
that?
the funk,
Do you hear that classic rock band from Ethiopia, or do you hear that classic rock band from the Philippines? Now though, with rock and metal, you have bands from all around the world. You're hearing more.
Scorpions, bro.
That they're actually I'm going
Germans.
to talk about them
Germans.
next one. Actually.
Oh,
Germans
man,
are
yeah.
weird. They give us the Scorpions.
We gotta
and
talk
they
about
also
Spinal
love
Tap.
David Hasselhoff.
We gotta talk about Spinal
We're
Tap.
talking about UK right now though.
Okay.
But I'm going to talk about actually Scorpions' next one, because they are like the biggest. German band from that. They're good technically, but I would pick AC/DC over them every fucking time.
All right, Trevor.
Oh,
let's get
yeah,
going,
it's a
man.
matter of taste. I like the Scorpions.
All right, back to England.
Scorpions are better.
Back to Britain.
They're more prolific.
Anyways.
Anyway.
Yes, Julian Roth, great guitarist. I know many guys that jerk off to his fucking guitar playing, but that's okay. Anyways, first on the list.
Trevor's in a mood tonight, man. I
Fucking
don't know what's
Scorpions.
going on.
Anyways.
he got piss and vinegar in it. It's full of the
I
vinegar.
wasn't talking shit about AC/DC. was
I know.
just saying I have a
Hey,
slight preference.
right now-
I was trying to get to my thing. Everybody shut up.
Anyways, though, you're like, Germany.
This is the best part, is I love doing this, because he'll get pissed off, and then I'll bring him back, and we do this for an hour.
Anyways, first on the list, Black Sabbath is the band that started in
Sabbath.
They technically started in 68, 69.
Got the Oz man.
Their first album came out in 1970s. It was a self-titled Black Sabbath. And
Paranoid was one of the most dopest albums.
yeah, and
They're from the UK.
they're from England. They're from Manchester. I think.
Liverpool.
No,
That's the only
Liverpool.
place I know. Liverpool.
I think it's Liverpool. I think it is actually Liverpool or I think it's Manchester, but they were from a very
thing. Who knows European cities?
yeah, but it was from a bleak industrial town that was right after after World War II. A lot of these it helped form the whole British sound because they were taking from the American blues sound. They were applying it. It was like, oh, it's kind of shitty here, so we should make music to expressing about how it's shitty.
We should express how bad we feel with
Yeah.
our dope music.
Yeah, so
We
you
gotta
had,
express ourselves. The man's keeping us down.
so you had like
Sweet
skittle
Leaf is
bands.
One of the best.
Which one?
Sweet Leaf.
Yeah.
Sweet Leaf.
The song.
The song, dude.
Oh.
It's so good.
That's why we do the bong rip from the
Ah.
beginning of the episode, because of that. That's where I got the idea from.
I guess you stole it, didn't you?
Oh, Ozzy, you're gonna have to fight me
Oh, well,
sometime,
I'm
bud.
pretty sure every
Anyways,
member of
I'm gonna kick you
Cypress
right in
Hill
the
has
nuts
a
that you're
podcast
scarred in.
that starts with a bong.
There you go. That was a good one.
Right.
You're
People
good.
like bong rips.
All right, Sabbath. I love it.
Give people
Sabbath,
what they like.
including Ozzy. Second one, got Rolling Stones.
Stones. Yeah, of course.
Yes.
You know, you can't always get what you want, but
Wait,
if
is
you
this
try
on
sometimes, you just might
still
find you get what you need.
Wait,
Oh.
is this a list of the top 10?
UK classic rock bands from
Yes.
about 50 to 75.
So number 1.
It's not.
No, it's no
ascending.
order in particular.
Okay.
Top 10 that we like. Trevor's
So-
gonna pick them out, and I'll tell him if I like them or not.
Black Sabbath for me would have to be like probably number one, but like as far as the others list, I just
If I
bands
had
that
to
are
pick a
like.
number one, it'd definitely be Floyd.
How have we not
Pick
discussed
Floyd.
Iron Maiden at this point?
I'm getting there.
Okay, thank you.
It's on the
We
list.
keep interrupting Trevor, and he's getting so pissed.
I know. Fucking chatty Cathy's over here. Couple hens out of fucking yard over here.
Well, don't invite me over to talk.
And then tell you to shut up. What kind of podcast is this?
I'm a psychopath, all right? Shades on. I'm invisible
It's
now.
like,
You can't
I want
see.
my friends here, but they better shut up while we're doing this.
All right, Jeff. How about this? The Beatles.
Beatles are good. Sergeant
Sana?
Pepper's Lonely.
All right.
I think the Beatles are
Sergeant
amazing.
Pepper's Lonely Heart Club
I
Band.
think like anybody who's had that much impact on culture, blah blah blah.
Just
it's
like the
gonna-
Rolling
it's gonna be
Stones.
The
divisive.
Beatles fucked up the world for a while.
But I also think the Beatles, they did, but they're also like anything that ends too early. Ending on a high note is such a
Yeah.
luxury.
Whereas
not a lot of
Everybody
people
has.
Whereas like Rolling
So if you
Stones
can,
kept
you
rolling,
should.
and then they eventually by the '80s, Rolling Stones kind of rolled on
Yeah,
out.
anything after
After '78, '79.
it gets a little bit rough. Play the hits.
Yeah, after that, it just after
Well,
the
you gotta-
for
you gotta
disco.
understand the
David
journey
Bowie
too,
fucked
though,
you,
man.
Mick.
You gotta understand the journey. It started out as a bunch of young
fucked.
dudes that were like getting
That is a
big,
weird music video.
and then all of a sudden, these motherfuckers were the biggest band in the world. You know, like they put out a few albums
their
and they
early
blew the
stuff
fuck
is
up.
just so.
Yeah, the
and
Beatles.
That's what I mean. When they started to fucking get to their height, all the drugs came in.
They only
Women
released
and
albums
crazy
from
and
'63
the
to
lifestyle.
'69.
Well, I
So
think the
only 60
lifestyle of
yeah.
the rock star is what got the best of the Beatles. they all started splitting up and doing their
That
own
being
side
said,
projects.
hats off to Mick Jagger for holding it together as well as he had.
Yes.
He had like a baby last year. The dude's like 80 something.
Yeah.
Isn't that
He's
crazy?
still-
Sperm never dies or like degenerates.
Yeah.
Some people are like, why?
They're gonna have to
why don't
find
they
a
stop?
way to turn sperm into rocket fuel. You know,
And like Mick Jagger,
blast to the moon.
but Mick Jagger's still running around and working out too.
Good.
Yeah,
I got one I want
Okay,
to throw in
explain
there.
Keith Richards then.
might be on the list.
I want to throw in Queen.
That is on the
Of
list.
course, because I brought it up this morning.
Yeah,
You
I
almost
forgot.
forgot about Queen.
I did.
had
What?
to bring this up.
Yeah, I did.
What?
This rock star over here.
I
almost
love
forgot about Freddie
guitarists, but
Mercury.
who's Brian May?
I know who Brian May is, motherfucker.
Who's John Mayer? Does he
Fuck
play
John
guitar?
Mayer.
I don't know.
I think he was on the Dave Chappelle episode
He
where
was.
they tested out guitar in different groups of people. That
John
guy.
Mayer's a
That's
funny
awesome.
dude.
So good.
Yeah,
Right.
dude, amazing. Fucking Freddie Mercury and Queen are one of my fucking favorite groups in the world. And I think it was crazy when I was driving across country. I bought some of the greatest hits CDs. Like I had Journey, I had fucking Kid Rock, a bunch of just crazy music to listen to. But one of them was Queen's greatest hits. It was 3 CDs, and from like the first to the last CD, they have some really cool shit.
A lot of really good stuff. They're a little bit more prolific than I thought.
They are, man.
Deeper dig on those guys.
Yep.
Not all of it's as many as their hits, but some of it's just as good, if not better.
And the vocals by Freddie Mercury, man.
Yeah, he was opera trained.
It's like a lifetime. Like nobody in our lifetimes will be able to recreate that
Yeah.
exactly.
He was able to do opera. Yeah.
They're gonna come up with a machine to be Freddie Mercury.
Well, the guy now I'd say be closest would be Mike Patton, who was in Faith No More and Mr. Bungle. And they used him for doing zombie sounds in the I Am Legend movie. Will Smith. But yeah.
Wait, what band were we talking about?
We were talking about Queen. We were talking about vocal
before
range.
we got to Queen, because we were on a band before. Did that the Stones? I feel like
we
I
did the
missed-
Stones. We did Sabbath. We did.
We did Sabbath.
Beatles.
We did Rolling Stones, Beatles. Next one I have, and then Queen. You threw that in there. You kind of jumped in. That's all right. It's on the list anyways.
Sorry for my snot, guys. I'm just getting over a cold.
The Animals.
I didn't have COVID. Shut up.
The Animals is another one.
Aminals.
Animals.
Animals.
So let's do it like we do it on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
We ain't nothing but mammals.
What the
Yes.
hell? I did a deep dive on them for a while.
Animals was another band that came out at the same time as the
They're
Stones
I never
and
really
the
listened to
Beatles.
that much. I don't think I've heard like their hits, but
Do it
I don't.
yourself
I've
a
never
deep
I've
dove.
I've done a deep dive on them because
It's
my
like
dad
if I
liked
would
them.
get into the Monkees. Yeah, it'd be
No,
a
no,
weird
no.
group to get into.
Wait,
The Animals have way more hits than the Monkeys.
the animals
Do
are
it.
great.
Name 'em.
Yeah.
For the Monkeys,
Sure. Or no, for the animals.
House
For-
of the Rising Sun.
House of the Rising Sun, which was a cover song. We Got to Get Out of This Place. That was another one we did. It's My Life was another
You
one.
wrote it with them?
It's not.
I'm a time cop. Time cop, bud.
Trevor helped to write.
I'm a time cop, right? Sky Pilot was another one.
Sky Pilot's a good one. It's my life, and I'll do what I want.
I'm not
You know
the
what?
biggest animals fan.
I love the
That's
animals.
fair.
I'll show you
I'll
some more
swap
animals.
the animals for the Clash.
Wait a minute. Are the Kinks British?
Yes.
Kinks great.
They were also the same time as the
The
Animals
Kinks
and
are
the
so
Stones
good.
and the
Kinks
Beatles.
held it together for
They're
a long
they're
time.
they're
The
definitely
Kinks
on
are making
the
great
Kinks.
And if you guys
The
have
Kinks
a
is
better,
on the honorable
if you guys have a
mention.
better
They can
band
bring
that you
music
can
into the
think
90s.
of, and you don't agree with
They were.
Trevor, you can trump his thing and fucking use your band. Yeah, because I want to say the Clash. Fuck that.
No, the Animals will stay on the list, but
Wait a minute. I
Clash
know
is
for
on
sure,
here too, though.
Clash.
I'm sorry we keep jumping around, but I'm 100% sure that you made a terrible omission on your list of British bands.
Where?
Where's the Spice Girls, bruh?
Oh, tell me what you want.
That's
What's
not
your
classic
favorite
rock.
rhythm?
That's
I'll
not
tell you
classic
what you want,
rock.
what's your favorite
I'm
rhythm
defining
of all.
classic rock as 60s, 70s, early 80s. They're too
All
late.
right. Well, they
No, they make a special guest
90s is
appearance. I
classic
love
rock
it.
Now.
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends.
Well, listen to
'Cause,
classic
friendship
rock
lasts
radio.
forever.
All right,
and
so
that's,
Animals, another one. Moving on. This will shut Chris to shut the fuck up. Pink Floyd.
Yeah, Floyd.
All right.
I love Pink Floyd. They're one of my favorite groups too.
Another
And
good band,
I started
another
getting
great
into
band.
it much more when I started smoking weed.
Me too.
But
Hey.
psychedelic music has such a place in the world. It just has to be in the right time and the right place. But I used to sit in my truck when I was trying to come down from the world, smoke a blunt, and listen to the greatest hits of Pink Floyd. And man, I could listen to that whole CD, and it was a couple hours, but such a good experience because you just go through these levels of highs and lows, and great instruments, great singing, good writing. It's all like interesting how it all comes together if you just listen all the way through.
But
Journey's got another greatest hits album that's pretty cool.
They're not on that list.
But Trevor hates Journey.
Hate them.
Yeah,
I
he hates Journey.
And they're American anyways.
He hates them more than he hates Nickelback.
What?
They're close. It's close. I actually have had to hear. I've had to hear that terrible band from a distance live.
Look at this photograph.
All right, fuck you both. Fuck you both
Every
right now.
time I do it makes me laugh.
Jethro Tull
Jethro Tull, yeah.
sitting on a park bench, bow, bow, bow,
like that.
looking at dirty little girls with bad intent.
And I'm gonna play a flute in a rock band.
Yes, and he did it. He pulled it off.
Yeah, he did.
You know, we
Nobody
should-
questioned it.
Yeah,
You know,
Ian
we should
Anderson, he
leave-
also didn't do any drugs.
Yeah,
He was
who
straight
rocks?
edge. He was straight edge, and he
You know what
always
we
did the
should
Robin
leave
Hood
out,
thing.
And it
Those
make it
straight
more
edge
interesting.
guys.
We should leave out Zepp. We should leave out AC/DC.
AC/DC's Australian.
Yeah, that's true. It
They're
is
not on this
international.
list.
All right, next one. But we can leave out Led Zeppelin because that's a given. Led Zeppelin's a fucking given.
By the way, that was on my list, 100%. Zeppelin's on the list.
They're from the UK too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You obviously need to learn
So
where the
does-
British bands
Or
are.
don't berate your friends
I'm
because they don't
kidding.
know what you know.
Okay.
Well, Soda was a classic rock. Like she,
That's
nev-
true.
until she met me, she's never really listened to much classic
What
rock.
do you like to
Okay.
listen to?
Mostly like
Taylor Swift.
I do like that, but I like
Taylor Swift's alright. She's got a couple songs.
North Jones, like John Mayer.
John Mayer's cool.
Who's the banana pancake guy?
Jack Johnson.
She likes Jack Johnson.
I love Jack Johnson.
She
actually.
likes reggae music too.
Yeah, I love reggae.
Yeah.
Yeah, she loves the love.
Yeah. But so
Just don't stop petting her. She's like a ticking time bomb.
But we shortened the claws, so it's not as bad. By the way, it was a lot easier with the shorter claws today.
I know.
Oh, I know.
Told you.
Now,
I
there's
knew
a few-
exactly what needed to happen, and it was just hilarious watching Trevor try to hold her because he's like, "Come on, man, do it!" And I felt like I was trying to defuse a bomb. I'm like, "All right, give me a second. I gotta clip these wires."
I felt like we were like Ukraine in a shelter real quick. He's like, dude, the Russians are getting closer, man. The Russian.
No, I know.
The
Shut
Russian.
the fuck up. You're making noise. Shut up.
Dude, they're stealing all the cabbage and the women and the babushkas. Come on, man, let's go.
Shoot Trevor to
Not the
shut
cabbage.
the fuck up.
Not the cabbage.
Not the cabbage.
not the
They're
cabbage.
taking the rest of the vodka. The vodka. No.
Not the cabbage. I like it.
All right. So yeah, Jethro Tull. They definitely infused a lot of like traditional medieval English like elements
Yeah.
and threw it in there.
Elementals.
Yeah, a lot of like Renaissance sort of period stuff like Lady Greensleeve. So that was interesting.
Green
And
Sleeves was a great song.
They also beat out Metallica for best metal album one time. A bunch of people as a joke
What
decided
year?
to give it like
What
80,
year?
83.
That's the
84.
height- that's the height of Metallica.
They're rock.
Oh, that's not the height of Metallica, but that's definitely
When they're on the rise.
When they're on the
Yeah,
rise,
on the rise.
yeah.
It was a joke. I think it's funny because people
Well, I
really got
think there
mad.
was like it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think like Madonna got in there before
Yeah.
Metallica. It's like, this is
Madonna. What the fuck did
All right,
she do?
I'm-
Dude, have you seen
What
her
did she
lately?
do? Yes.
Madonna
She looks
is
nuts.
a
Madonna's not on this
Yeah.
list, by the way, folks.
But is
Not
that
on
not
list.
what we do as a society to these women that are pop stars
No,
or whatever?
she
Dude,
did
look at
that
Britney
shit to
Spears.
herself.
Look at Britney Spears.
Yeah, I
She's
know.
another version of Madonna.
Judas
Like,
Priest.
Something
crazy.
happens.
Judas Priest.
So we're getting off on it.
Yeah, you're talking about American people too. Judas Priest is next.
Trevor's so upset.
I'm trying to make this. I'm trying to run the
Judas
shit
Priest.
train.
Breaking the
I
law.
like
Breaking the
Breaking
law.
Priest because that guy made gay leather fetish.
Rob Halford. Rob
culture.
Halford,
He's
yeah.
the lead singer.
He made that metal culture, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm gay, but I sing
What's wrong with
early metal
assless
as well.
chaps? I like assless chaps.
You
They
know
look
what,
cool.
Ashley- you know
you
what-
ever see a girl in them? They're really cool.
They are cool.
You know what ashless chaps that have an ass are called?
Chaps.
Chaps.
Leather pants.
Leather pants, yeah.
Okay.
It's the same shit.
Yeah. That was a good.
Redundant.
All right, I like that though.
But Judas Priest have been
Judas
around
Priest is
since the early 70s, and they definitely helped push the limit for bringing classic rock into metal, heavy metal.
Painkiller.
About Lemmy, man.
Painkiller's
Where's
great.
Lemmy at?
That's definitely on the honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Motorhead. Yeah.
All right, name me 3 good songs besides Ace of Spades. I bet you can.
Ace of Spades.
Eat the Rich.
Ace. That's all you got to play is Ace of Spades.
They have good songs. They have like,
Eat the Rich.
that is a good song. I've heard
There
it.
you go. You said name one.
No, you said name 3.
Oh,
but
You said name 3.
one.
One's
Name
good.
one.
I know you
Name's
can't
one.
name
Naming
3.
one is
No
good. I
one
didn't even
can.
know
I
another
can't name
Motorhead
3.
song.
Two. No.
Do it, man. Name another one. Trevor will be so
Fuck
pissed.
you. Let me.
Don't worry, the Motorhead is on here.
Trevor is dragging this whole
Honorable
bit out.
All right,
man.
moving forward. Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, awesome. Very
If
good
anyone
choice.
argues with that,
Well, actually, no, I'm fine. Iron Maiden's cool.
they definitely took from other bands of using the dual or 3 guitar solos. They definitely took inspiration from Thin Lizzy and Leonard Skinner of
Yep.
using 2 or 3 guitars and doing harmonies
And
together.
I think that that's what really makes an interesting group is not even just doing something that nobody's ever done before, but doing it well.
Do it well.
Because if you're going to try something new, you better have it kind of together, man. Don't just get up on stage and be like, I'm going to fucking punch somebody right now. Like,
Well, I don't like sloppy performers.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I paid.
you paid. This is a service.
And Bruce,
Come on, man. Bring the funk.
and Bruce
Be a
Dickinson has a hell of a
professional. Do a
range
good
too,
job.
and the whole band is amazing.
Fucking asshole.
All right,
Do your job, Trevor.
Do
Next
your damn
one.
job, hippie.
next one.
Your long hair is getting in the way of reading, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trevor
David
had such
Bowie.
Short hair.
David Bowie.
David Bowie's okay.
David Bowie's another one.
Fame.
He had a lot of good hits, and he had
But
a
see,
lot of
like
good rock and roll
Motorhead, I
hits.
only know Fame, really. That's the only David Bowie song I really give a
Life
shit
on
about.
Mars.
Too many I could name. Suffragette
Too
City.
many I can name. Yeah, I've heard that one.
Fucking
Plus,
Suffragette City,
he
Golden
was so
Years,
good. He was so good. Mick Jagger.
Chinese
sucked his
Runaway.
dick.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah, it was going back to that music video again. Look it up, folks. Mick Jagger and David Bowie.
Fucked. That was,
That was definitely some Dennis and Mac energy right there. But anyways, so yeah, David Bowie. They started in the 60s. He kept it going. He was big rivals with Led Zeppelin, who's also given on this list.
yeah.
Another band that started in the 60s, late 60s, coming from other bands. They use a lot of classical instruments. They use like violin bows on guitars. They use dual neck guitars.
And
They
that
play
is such a cool
mandolin.
thing to do, but it's kind of stolen from the American fucking Appalachians.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yes.
make me
man.
feel bad.
The fiddle, man.
Yeah.
I still
Well,
like
it's
Led Zeppelin,
violin.
but-
Well, what they used to do is somebody would be playing the fiddle or the violin, and then like at a point in the song, they take the bow off and they play the guitar real
Yeah.
quick, and then they pop back on.
Yeah. That was an definitely American thing that
Yeah,
they did.
fucking cool
America.
shit.
But yeah, Britain took a lot of stuff from us, and they supposedly
I
I think
improved it.
everybody
Supposedly.
steals from everybody.
They do.
man.
All right, so
What have you guys stolen lately from somebody?
I steal people's souls.
I steal people's love.
Oh, so you're the
I steal their
Undertaker,
love,
then.
and then I
Yeah.
turn it into
Okay.
good love, and I send it back out. I'm
Jet-
like little Nicky from that movie. It's like love, and he's like giving
Nice.
people Popeye's chicken.
Hell yeah, Popeyes, and he walks in with a hat on and an urn with his victim's name on there, and then when he's about to lose, he just sits up real quick.
Talking about little Nicky?
No, I'm talking about the Undertaker.
Oh, I was talking about little
Yeah.
Nicky. I was
The
like,
Undertaker.
nah, man, he falls in love with a girl.
No,
he
Undertaker.
does good things. He's the devil's son.
And another honorable mention, I have Robin Trower, which is also my album review, so I'll throw that out there.
Trevor just wants to go. Go for it, Trevor. Album review.
All right, album review is Robin Trower. They're like the British equivalent of Jimi Hendrix from the late 60s, early 70s. Robin Trower is the guitarist, but they named the band after him, kind of like with Van Halen. So
Van Hagar.
Robin Trower, and then the album Bridge of Sighs, and then the song I recommend is Day of the Eagle. I learned about that song playing at a biker bar when I was 18, and there was a bunch of Vietnam vet dudes that were throwing beer and being rowdy. And like this band opened up, it reminded me of like some of my Blues Brothers. They were throwing beers around, like these these guys were getting rowdy and they had their jackets on. They're yelling ZZ Top's in the background, and this guy's like grabbing a girl's ass and doing the whole thing.
Bunch of mobsters come in and they lock the door and they're like, "Now
Yeah,
you
you can't sleep." No, that didn't happen. But not Tail Bronx. But then this band went up and played, and then they got excited, and then I went up and played classical, and they actually applauded, and they didn't throw any beers at me.
Very cool.
So yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Trevor's happy when he doesn't get beer thrown at him. But if he catches it, he's very happy.
You know who gets really mad when you throw beer at him? Ron Artest.
Malice at the Palace? Are we bringing that
Dude,
up?
I love that video. I go back and I watch it every
Malice at the
every year at least
So
once.
mad.
I like to watch it once a year too.
And it's the greatest fight to see because at a point, like, they break it up and everyone's like, all right, we're going back to normal shit. And then some asshole throws another cup at him.
And
they
says
just
some
light
fucked
back
up shit.
They're like, fuck you.
Yeah,
And
some
then
old guy yells the N-word and then just...
Well, it's like, how are you going to sit there and talk shit to a 7-foot-tall giant black dude?
That's a professional
and
athlete.
Expect him not to eventually just be like, yo, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They are-
those
What the
those
fuck?
people in the seats
Oh,
deserve
the
it.
Detroit Pistons fans were.
And they blame the players for it. Dude, I don't give
It
a
was the
fuck.
people.
If that
It
happened
was
in
the
an
people in the
NFL game, they
stands.
never would have blamed the players because of the fact that, you know, these motherfuckers are professional
Oh, trust me,
athletes. You are jeopardizing their life.
But yeah, Robin Trower, good album review.
Malice in the Palace, dude. Let's talk about that a little bit. I like that.
I don't remember that British rock and roll band, Malice in the Palace.
Dude, I was a giant Pacers fan at the time.
Yeah.
I lived in Indiana.
Malice in the Palace. That could
I've
be
been
the
to
good episode
more
name.
Indiana Pacer games than any other professional sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skies from Indiana.
Yeah,
if you ever
that
need
was
random
the-
basketball
that-
facts,
Yeah, that,
Pacers are pretty okay.
that
Also
was like
Larry
the-
They're not
Bird.
the worst team, man. They are always contenders.
Well, yeah, especially, dude, Reggie Miller was amongst one of the many amazing players during the
Malice
Jordan
in the
era
Palace.
that never got a championship because
Yep.
they played during the Jordan era.
Well, it's hard, man. When you have
Barkley didn't get one.
When I was going to high school and playing football, I was at a really good school for a few years. Like, we had great players. But there was a scouted high school that went around and took all the players from, you know, around the area
That's
and
fucked
brought
up.
them to the school.
Yeah.
And, dude, their team was literally 100 kids. So they had this giant pool of children, and they played against all the regular schools, but they were highly funded. They were state champions like 30 years in a row.
That's weird.
Yeah, Florida's a very big football state.
Oh, yeah,
So,
I
like,
remember.
over basketball, if anything, Florida's a way bigger football state.
Yeah, I did spend my middle school years in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I split my childhood from Indiana.
Where in Florida?
Lakeland.
Lakeland. That's a crazy place, man. They got a Scientologists up there.
Yeah.
is that northern
Weird.
Florida?
Yeah.
Well, the Scientologists are really Clearwater.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Clearwater. Lakeland.
There's too many Clearwaters. There's a Clearwater in California. There's one here. There's one in Highwater.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? I always
Too
say
many
Clearwater, Florida, amazing place. That birthplace of Scientology and Hooters. What a fucking town.
It was weird. There was another
That's wild
documentary
as
I was
fuck,
watching,
actually.
and it was these people that were going to interview about Scientology. So they walk up like a couple blocks away from the major compound facility they have. It's like their headquarters, and they're on the other side of the street, and they got guys that are like security guards approaching them like across the road, and they're like, "What are you guys filming? What are you doing here?" You know, we're like, "Oh, we're making a documentary about, you know, Scientology," and they're like, "You can't be here. You got to get the fuck out of here." And then the cops show up.
Like, this is the street, bro.
Yeah, it's a public street. The cops show up and they're like, "Look, you should go." You know, they own that whole fucking town,
Yep.
and it's crazy because the Scientologists got everybody's money, man. It's one of the weirdest religions because of the amount of capita. It
Yeah,
has.
it's weird.
They have a ridiculous.
They
They're
don't
like
have to
the
pay taxes.
Christians, man. They got crazy
Worse.
money.
A lot of celebrities involved in it.
That's kind of the pull. Is they got a lot of
People with
like,
a lot of money.
people promoting them. Fucking Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is gonna look back one day and be like,
That was
"I
dumb.
think that was a weird place I was in."
Yeah. What's your thoughts,
Or
Scientology, Sona?
He's gonna become the leader. Tom Cruise is gonna become the leader.
It's a bizarre phenomenon.
We are not a pro Scientology household.
Well, Chris and I are not
Let's get this
Scientologists.
We're anti-Scientologists too, bruh.
The Scientologists have to look at my credit score and be like, you
How
can't join our
crazy
church.
is it that
Okay.
the main dude's wife, his like actual married wife, hasn't been seen in like 5 years?
Talking about L. Ron Hubbard or the guy who's taking
No,
over
David
for him?
Miscavige.
Yeah.
I listened to an interesting podcast with his dad. It's a horrible story.
Yeah.
It's really sad from his dad's perspective.
He has so many weird things that have happened. Like, people have gone disappearing in his life that have talked against him for
Damn.
like 20 years.
Damn.
He's been fucking getting rid of people. So, don't go into the Scientology building,
Yeah,
folks.
you're not the Prince of Saudi Arabia. That's a no-no.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
you
you
gotta
mean
own
Salam?
some oil before we allow you
Yeah.
to get away with some
Right.
things.
Yeah, he's still not.
America's politics suck.
Yeah, he's. I guess speaking of that guy, Prince Salim, who's gonna be like, yeah, I'll make sure that the whole world has enough oil. I got you.
I think the problem is in general, you have to deal with, on a global scale at least, you have to deal with murderers
Yep.
day to day. Because a lot of these people own like whole countries and they don't give a fuck about getting rid of
They
people.
have one of the most lucrative exports. Can't deal with it.
So, having that oil, that is a big booster for us to play nice with Saudi Arabia.
Oil, you cooking, bitch?
Of course.
Dave Chappelle.
Where would we be without oil, man? Fucking whole civilization runs on it.
Definitely.
We need to find an alternative. I'm talking semen, man. Bringing it back.
Well, speak.
Forever.
Every man beating off round the clock. lots of lotion.
Actually, speaking of semen,
There's
we
a
were,
bunch of girls involved.
In the future, men will be milked for their
Go to Mars.
sperm and
Nice.
jokes.
so
There's a whole South Park about that. How
Right.
like the men are being milked.
They're just
under
being
the
milked.
ground and
They have to write
Yeah.
jokes because women don't write good jokes.
anyway, speaking of semen, we got sex ed classes and how sex ed in America was not that great.
about rock bands. Is that the whole list?
Yep.
Well, we have honorable mentions, but you guys were going so many different ways that I decided,
These aren't
fuck
an
it.
honorable mention.
I love the Kinks, but there's just too many bands. All right,
Ace Man, come on.
so we also got.
Lola.
I love the
that
Kinks. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like Sunny Tuesday Afternoon,
Right,
great
right.
song. Also on here, I have Sex Pistols, honorable mention, because they helped definitely push punk rock.
Sex Pistols are awesome.
And they started, their first album came out in 76, so never mind the buzz.
They really got me
the
to
Bullocks.
forget the Bullocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Forget the Bullocks.
God save the
That's
Queen.
such a good name. Fuck that other band. My first album is fuck this other band.
Yeah. But
Who was? Fuck.
also right with them is Clash. That's the other band that came out at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Also, while America had punk going on, Sex Pistols and Clash were the two, at least most mainstream, that got
How
the
long
most
has
attention.
Radiohead been around?
Radiohead,
Classic rock.
Yeah,
late
they're on the
80s.
line, right?
Late 80s. And they're American.
Just passed.
Are they?
They're American.
Well, we're trying to
Yes.
do up to like
Yeah, Tom Yorkman
75,
did I Wanna Be
79.
Your
The second we start getting into the
80.
80s, it starts
Because
to take a skew.
by then, rock and roll had diverged so many different ways that.
Because like 82 or so, hair metal was starting to become huge.
And punk was getting pretty big. Metal was getting a lot. Thrash was
Fucking Van
happening.
Halen,
Yeah, it was diverging in so many different ways. The whole new wave thing was happening, and like emo and goth music was starting to be a thing, and like
Shout out emo and goth music. I love that shit sometimes.
Yes.
When I'm feeling down and sad, sometimes it's just good to feel down
Yeah.
and sad.
Fun fact.
Then you pump back with like some Beatles or something.
And emo started in America. Actually, the guy from Ian McKay from
Shout out the goths for
Minor
representing
Threat.
people.
Made the first, at least American emo band, which is Fugazi. Because like when you're thinking of The Cure, which is like very British, they're considered goth.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I always thought it was hilarious that The Cure is like the king of all goth bands.
Them and
I don't
fucking
know, man. The Cure's just weird.
Depeche
They
Mode
are
too.
weird,
Yeah.
but they're like
Dep-
the king of goth bands.
Well,
Yeah,
Depeche
Depeche
Mode.
Mode's weird.
Depeche Mode is the American like equivalent of
Yeah,
that.
to goth.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're not covering goth though, because it's a whole other section.
Trevor's like,
baggy thing.
shut up.
Don't
This
say
is what
baggy.
we were talking about.
I'm almost done, and we'll finish it up. Oh, I see. So we also got the early surf band, The Shadows. They were like the Ventures of Britain.
Well,
they have, like, Peace Pipe and, Apache. We also got the band Yes. They're a big one,
Yes.
like Roundabout, and they did a lot of.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Great
Oh,
name for a
another
band,
one.
even if
Yeah,
you don't know.
speaking of yes, another one. The Who.
Yes.
Oh,
The Who.
They're not
And I'm not talking the Mongolian band, folks. I love them, but they're
I think
recent.
I thought of them earlier and then I forgot it because I'm sitting here stoned.
When
Yeah.
I say that Mongolian band, I can't say the Who. This sounds like it's one of those bands. I want to try to.
Trevor
be an
showed
asshole
me
and say it
some
like
really
a
cool
Mongolian, 'cause
Mongolian throat singing.
Yeah.
These guys are like from the Alps up in fucking Mongolia and shit.
There's a lot of
They, like,
mountains up
they're
there.
herders and stuff too. They like have horses.
Oh,
And
Hun
these
Her
dudes-
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and these dudes will sit out there with like their traditional instruments
And they'll
just
play
be
it
like,
for their
"Wah!"
horses. Yeah, they'll play it for their horses and the livestock that they're herding.
And they
use it.
love it, man. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. They're good singers. And I never really thought of like throat singing, but I guess it's, you know, like in different cultures, everybody
Dang.
uses something different to
Yeah,
kind of
they-
set their sound.
They're able to use a circular breathing pattern. And a lot of people that live in that part of the world, they have really good breathing because they live at
The
such high altitude.
yeah.
That's why
It's like
people in
the
that part of the
Chilean
world, they're
Alps.
really good. Yes, they're able to breathe so well.
This
So-
podcast is coming together, guys.
I know. Another one, I got Joe Cocker's on our honorable mention.
Cocker Spaniel?
You said
Joe-
Cocker.
Joe
Yeah,
Cocker.
it's a pretty funny one. Cocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dated a girl
Like
named,
we all get by
her
with
last
little
name
help
was
from our
Cox.
friends. He did the cover. Yeah, he
That
was
guy.
good.
That fucking guy.
And
I don't know
also
if that was just funny to me.
also on here I have Rod Stewart,
Hey,
honorable mention.
Rod Stewart.
Her last name was Cox.
Wait, the faces, bro.
Yeah, Rod Stewart and the Faces are on here.
Yeah.
Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart.
The background band's also really good, just like David Bowie's band. The background
The
band's
cat's in the
Dog,
cradle
I
with the
wish
silver
I
spoon, man.
knew
Little
That's
boy.
Don McLean.
I know, I know.
But no, Rod
But I love
Stewart.
that song.
Yeah,
I
my
did
body's
tell you-
sexy. Maggie.
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 I
Maggie.
know that my
Nice
mom
guy.
and sister
I think,
saw Rod Stewart like a month ago.
Never see
Nice.
your
Yeah.
Rod
Better
the
see him while
Bod.
he's still alive, man. Him and God damn it, I'm fucking so stoned. I'm tired and stoned, folks. Genesis, lead singer of Genesis.
Phil Collins.
Phil, he's on his last leg, dude.
Yeah.
He's still doing shows, but he's like sitting down. He can't, perform really, so he's just trying his best to keep out.
Genesis
Yikes.
could
Phil
definitely be an
Collins is
honorable.
dead soon.
Could definitely be an honorable mention. But
Yeah.
anyways,
This is the land of confusion, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw.
There's not much left to go
We
around.
saw Weird Al at
Yeah?
the center.
Yeah.
Did you get?
Good show.
Did they come out with that movie where Daniel Radcliffe is playing Weird Al Yankovic yet?
I don't think so.
So there's a movie
But-
where Daniel Radcliffe is going to play Weird Al
A
Yankovic.
biopic, yeah.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes.
Have you guys seen Weird Al's movie UHF?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It's so good.
I've like looked at it and been like, Weird Al movie? Maybe I'll pass. But that's interesting.
It's great. Get really high.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's great. It's great.
There's a couple of
Yeah.
movies that I just got stoned one night, like late night, and you're scrolling through terrible movies, and you just start picking shit. And it was called The Stoned Days or something like that. But it was a movie, like it was a ripoff of Dazed and Confused, but with these two guys just trying to get laid the whole night, and they're like running around. And the movie is just so terribly
me that
written.
red,
It's
folder?
really nuts to watch.
This one?
yeah.
Hand him that guitar, sir.
Oh
He
my
needs his
God.
axe.
Oh,
Nice.
sorry. Yeah. Well,
I
we
need to write this
decided-
down before I forget it.
What are you trying to
Stop.
write?
Stop poking me.
Stop poking
That's what
me.
she said.
Yes. Yeah.
Very important thing to write down.
Well,
Trevor stopped the show to write something down.
it'll be like last time. I'll just forget. Some stone.
Yeah, he's thinking here. We had this whole conversation yesterday about
Malice in the
being
Palace.
stoned and forgetting things.
Alice.
Or something with rock and roll ain't noise pollution. No, that's the old one.
All right, Trevor, maybe we can do
All
this after we finish.
Okay.
Because you're just writing things down and we're looking at you.
That's good.
I like it.
Oh yeah.
All right, you got
So,
your 2 minutes left, man. You got to play us out.
I'll play us out.
Hey, we really
This is the end. We're 58 minutes.
Any last things, Sona? You have any
So,
last?
Jeff,
No,
please.
do you guys
You
have
have
any
the
last
floor.
things?
This was so much fun. Thank you for having us.
you guys will definitely
wait.
have to return, or
Here-
we'll have to come over to your house and do
Here's
it.
the smart thing I've been saying to people lately. Don't wait for the world to be fair to not be a loser.
All right, I like
like
it.
it.
That's cool.
I like it.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Be nice to your neighbors and kiss your babies. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Kiss hands and shake babies, folks. I'm kidding.
Yes, yes.
But
All
yeah.
right, Trevor, let's play out. Boom.
And I have the background farting hands for background musician.
You gotta play the farts to it.
I'm liking it.
Man, it feels good to be an adult, guys. Let me tell you that right now. Alright.
Hell yeah.
Alright, folks. That's been Two Lonely Boys in a Canoe.
We'll have more
and
episodes
get at
coming
you
out
next
to you.
time. Thank you very much, Jeff and Sonya, for being here.
Later.
Subscribe.
We'll have
Like,
new stuff out.
love, all that shit.
Suck my balls.